Well, good morning to you. It's Friday, the 26th of October 2018. How lovely to be back here on United Kingdom Talk, boys and girls. Daily, almost daily, I say daily, almost little chat show coming to you live from the Mirable Studios in Royal Berkshire. Live, of course, if it's just coming up to 9:20. If it's at any other time here in the UK, then you are watching a recording. But you are just as welcome. You are a replay viewer. A replay viewer, yes. I'm trying to get these messages up again. They still haven't sorted it. This time it's the Facebook messages not coming up on the message system, but I can still see those on another method. So let's see who's first in this morning. Looks like it's Mark Jones. Oh, you must have been poised by your computer. I like that word, don't you? Poised. You must have been poised by your computer, ready to get that first message in this morning. Good morning, Mark Jones. Hope you're well today, so Shania's there on the Isley widget. Good morning, Shania. Hope you're well on the Isle of Wight. What's it like there? It's a bit cold here today. Oh, I've had the heating on. I've had don't worry, not too long. No, only an hour at a time. I never believe in turning it on and leaving it on. Some of you do that. I mean, some of you are loaded with money, dear. We can't afford to turn the heating on for more than an hour at a time. Today, 2 hours. And the reason it's 2 hours is it just started raining. And I've got endless washing to do. Endless washing. I've already done 2 loads of washing, right? Okay, so there was one lot outside, and I'm looking outside just before I was coming up here, actually, upstairs, and I noticed it was starting to rain, so I brought it all loaded in again. Of course, it hasn't had time to dry yet, so it's all damp, so it's hanging over all the chairs and the clothes horse in the kitchen. You must never ever put washing on radiators; they will go rusty, and I am proof of that. No, I haven't gone rusty. Washing has not been hung over me. But my radiators, for years I used to hang the washing over there. And sure enough, all along the top, they got rusty. And I had to have 2 new radiators a couple of years ago. So I've done all that this morning. Good morning to Evan down in Cornwall. Good morning, Evan. Wadey Martin is there. Hope your karaoke went well for me the other week, dear. Last week, wasn't it? Hope that went well for you. Tommy Flynn. Good morning, young Tommy Flynn, all right? Adrian Richardson, hello to you. Noah Pekari, good morning. Long time no see. Thank you, Diane Jeb, who's glad to have us back. I'm glad to be back, Diane. I won't lie to you. I do like to have these chats in the morning. Ray Reynolds, hello and welcome back to Yingland. Yingland, Yingland, Ying Tong. Do you remember that song? Ying Tong, Ying Tong, Ying Tong, Ying Tong, Ying Tong, diddle I do. Ying Tong, Ying Tong, Ying Tong, diddle I do, diddle I do. Who sung that? Ray, I know that. Who sung that, Ray? Morning to Andy, Roy Brownlow. Who left the gate open so he could sneak back in? Me. I left the gate open so I could get back in. Let's have a look. Ning Mai Raimel, a very good morning to you, sir. Over on YouTube. Who have we got on YouTube this morning? Joanna. Good morning, Joanna. Paul Mosley. John Parrish. Let's have a look. Claire. Hello, lovely Claire. All right. She's saying hello to everyone. Jayan. Let's have a look. Claire is desperately great videos. Almost makes me want to go to the States. I'm so glad you enjoyed the little videos that myself and my nephew did while we were in Las Vegas, and just putting them together. Sometimes they take a long time. You'd be surprised how many clips you can build up. Often when I go on holiday, all the time really, I make sort of mini shows, if you see what I mean. And I take my it's only an iPhone, that's all I use. I take my iPhone around and film bits and pieces, and then at night time I generally put it all together. And you can have 80 or 90 video clips, literally, and they're on the phone. I've got my glasses on. Where's my glasses? I have my glasses on like that, and I'm looking at the clips and I'm thinking, oh no, not that one. And you delete that one, or there might be another one. You have to top and tail it, because there's a bit at the beginning when you're doing videos, and if you want them to be smooth, okay, you should always, start your camera and then just wait a second or two before you start. So and the reason is, when you hit that start button, especially if it's like a mobile phone, you'll get a slight shake. Well, you don't want to see that, before I start talking, do you? Do you know what I mean? So you're top and tail and you remove that little bit on the editing, and then you listen to it, and then you might want to do a voiceover. And those 20-minute videos can take an hour and a half. They can take an hour and a half to do, but to me, it's worth it, and I enjoy doing it anyway. And I'm so glad so many of you enjoyed it as well. Okay, Spike Milligan, thank you, John. Sung Ying Tong Ying Tong Ying Tong Ying Tong Ying Tong. Diddle I do. Ray Reynolds says the Goons, of course, same people. Ray Reynolds, Peter Sellers, Spike Milligan, and Harry Seacombe. Oh, Harry Seacombe, Songs of Praise. Now, what was the song? My mum had a Harry Seacombe album, The World of Harry Seacombe. What was the song? There's a specific song that he used to sing. Oh, something about the world, maybe? No, it wasn't that. Wasn't Make the World a Little Younger. That was Shirley Bassey, wasn't it? Oh. Anyone name some songs that Harry Seacombe? Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue now. How Great Thou Art. Did he do How Great Thou Art? You know that one? How great thou art, then sings my song, my Saviour God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Is that the one he used to do? No, maybe not. Oh, I can't remember now. Someone tell me. Spike Milligan, thank you, Evan. Yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it? Can't remember. You'll have to find out what that was. Just before I came up this morning, I got up, I set my alarm clock. I've been trying to reset my body clock, which I thought I'd done, actually. What's my downstairs phone ringing? How strange and mysterious that is. I wonder if it's the man from British Telecom again. Oh, a very good morning to you, sir. Is this British Telecom? It's always an Indian. Always an Indian bloke. This is British Telecom. We have noticed you have I'm not very good with accents. We've noticed you've got a virus in your computer. If you just give us the numbers and the information, we'll be able to clear it for you for a small payment of £250. Go away, you lying bastard. There's no virus in my computer. I am the only one with virus in me. Thank you very much. I just wish I'd given it to me, but there we are. Jason Shaw, good morning, who says, I look fresh. We're fresh. Da-da-da. Jason, stop looking for faults, dear. Just enjoy the programme. I don't need to be told that the collar's not right or the calendar's not straight or something like that. And who was it? Which one of you sods? So, you look like you've put on weight. Now, for someone who's got a problem with his weight, and I always have, since a teenager, I've always thought I was fat and morbidly obese. You shouldn't say something like that. Very bad. You look like you put on weight. I bet they're as fat as houses, whoever it was said that to me. Ridiculous. Paul reckons it's the FBI on the phone. Yeah, they want the money. Have I not paid for something? I can't remember now. Now, look, no, it won't go straight. Why don't you just put on with a slightly dodgy collie? If I ruled the world. Thank you, Andy. That's the one. If I ruled the world. La da 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 da. That's the song. Thank you, Andy, for being the only one who worked that one. Thank you very much. Jason says, just the collar, nothing else matters. About time you come along to the karaoke again. And look, it won't straighten up that. Look, it won't straighten up that. I need a mirror. Trouble is looking at yourself in a computer. It's the right way round. And we're not used to seeing ourselves the right way round, are we? Do you know what I mean? Used to watching ourselves in a mirror or something like that. A very good morning to Maureen. Hello, Maureen, who says, great to have you back. Thank you for sending us the wonderful Las Vegas videos. I'm glad you enjoyed them, Maureen. Are you along this evening, darlings? We're back on karaoke tonight, boys and girls, at Central Station. Karaoke returns with Chris Reardon. That's me. From 8:30 tonight. We've got a big birthday as well tonight. Oh, yes, it's the Asian invasion this evening with the delightful Jade, Lady Phoenix. It's her birthday today. No doubt she'll spend the entire night doing selfies, so good luck to that. That'll be tonight from 8:30, okay? So we're very much looking forward to... she's such a wonderful, warm person. She really is, the Lady Phoenix. If you ever meet her, you will absolutely delight. She's absolutely delightful, although she is obsessed with taking photographs of herself. So that's tonight, Central Station, Friday night karaoke from 8:30. Claire wants to know, which one of the jackets did you buy? I mentioned in the video. None of them. Didn't buy any of them, actually, Claire. In fact, I'm very surprised that you don't realise that this is a new one. This is a new jacket I'm wearing today, which I got from the Ralph Lauren, one of the Ralph Lauren outlet stores in Vegas. I'm trying to. This won't straighten up this shirt, will it at all? What if I do the top button up? Do you want the top button done up? Is that better? Is that better? How's that? Does that suit me better? Is that better with the top button? Are you happy now? Who's it moaning? Who's moaning? Jason Shaw. How's that? I've done the top button up. Is that better or not as good? I don't know. I don't know. I've had a look. I've done my shaving. I've done that all myself. That. Anyway, I'll come to that in a minute. Yes, this is a new one, and you'd be surprised at how much this cost. From Ralph Lauren, this jacket. Now you know, I don't buy designer clothes full price. Never, never. I go to outlets. This cost. Are you ready for this? Look at that lining. $49. Yeah, I know. $49, which is probably about £42. £42 from Ralph Lauren. And you know the jacket's in there. £300, £400, £500 going up as well. Yeah, not bad at all, is it? Claire's not coming tonight. Oh, what a shame. You're going to miss Lady Phoenix's birthday. She's got a bad throat and the trains are on strike again. It don't stop, does it, with the trains? Oh, I've got a train story coming up in a minute. What happened to my nephew? That's coming up shortly. Okay. Evan has just installed his new studio, mixing desk, condenser, mini headphones, studio monitors, business satellite broadcasting. Wow. 1 gigabyte download, 800 meg upload, ready for radio telescope to start working. And the new astronomy broadcasts I'll be doing. Well, you've got to keep us informed on that, Evan. We're all going to be watching that, my friend. We want to watch astronomy. Are you going to be the new Patrick? Oh, God. Patrick, you know, the bloke with the monocle in his eye. Died a few years ago. Very, very intelligent man. Patrick, Patrick. Someone give me a name. Patrick, someone or other. Can't remember who it is. Jason says I look amazing. Yes, I know. I know, Jason. I know. Patrick Moore. Thank you very much. Patrick Moore. You know Patrick Moore. Wonderful man. Are you going to be the new Patrick Moore? You'll need a monocle or something like that, won't you? That's a good idea. Yes, very much. Very much. Alrighty. So just before I came up this morning, I was watching the television, and I got to tell you, they had Stonehenge. They were doing the weather from Stonehenge. Now, it wasn't Carol this morning. It wasn't Karen Quirkwood. I can't remember. It was some other old bag on there. Who's just as good. No, she was all right. She was all right. And she's doing this weather, and it's outside Stonehenge. Okay, so that's all happening. And then it started to rain, and they're getting rain on the camera. And, like, where she's standing, she's, like, blurred because there's a little white raindrop on her face. And the cameraman wipes the lens as the weather goes on. And then they had this, like, little band, some symphonic orchestra. I don't know, the Stonehenge Symphonic Orchestra or anything. You might know about this, Evan. And they've written a piece of music. Now, I can't remember what it was called, but it was to do with Stonehenge. And I'm watching the telly and I'm quite excited by this. And the weather girl says, okay, so we're going to have this new symphony written about Stonehenge or whatever it was, she said. And they started playing it. Well, dear me, it sounded like a bloody orchestra warming up. It was awful. Awful. Did anyone see that this morning? It was just awful. It honestly, I'm not lying to you. It didn't sound like a bad tune. It actually sounded like an orchestra warming up. You know where you got all the violins, like that noise. It was just like that. Dreadful. God knows who's going to buy that piece of music. I hope we won't be subjected to that at the Royal Albert Hall on one of these on Remembrance Sunday or something like that. It was dreadful. Oh, dear me. So watch out for that one. Good morning to Ben Atwood. Morning, Ben. Had a lovely time in Vegas. Thank you very much. Ray Reynolds. Brooke Toplin, the shirt you don't iron. What? Row Brooke Toplin, the shirt you don't iron. What's that then? Evan met Patrick Moore twice. Oh, you lucky man. He was very, very clever. Jason Shaw is Patrick Moore indeed, yes. So that was my BBC breakfast this morning. Dreadful music. Anyone see it? Did you see it? I never saw it either. Then I've been watching Doctor Who. I watched last Saturday's episode of Doctor Who. Actually, I watched that yesterday afternoon. What a wonderful program that was. It was about it was doing racism. Actually, it was doing racism, and someone Rose. What was her name? Someone Rose. A lady in America somewhere many years ago. Who in those days everyone was segregated, white people and black people, and she got on this bus and they told her to move seats for someone of us, and she wouldn't move. That's what she's famous for. I'm be honest, I'd never heard of her. Okay, but they told the story on Doctor Who. And it was awful how it used to be. You know, black people would have to sit in certain seats on the bus. And if more white people came on and they didn't have enough seats, they'd have to get off the bus. Oh, it was absolutely... It just opens your eyes into what used to go on years and years ago. And the black people were just treated like dirt. Horrendous. Thank God we've come such a long way these days. Although in certain parts of the world it's still pretty bad, the whole racism thing. But I thought they covered that really well, Doctor Who. Don't know if you saw that. Holby City I watched, Casualty I watched. Good job for the BBC iPlayer, because my FreeSat recorder has stopped working since I've been away. Yes, got a FreeSat recorder, and I thought, I'm not going to have another one of these, are I? So I went out, I wiggled the wires on the dish, because my dish is actually at head level. It's in the garden on one of the fences, the dish. And wiggled it around the wires in the LNB. And nope, still wasn't coming on. But then my telly also, which is working perfectly, has got an LNB wire going into that, right? So I took off the wires because there's 2 wires on the FreeSat recorder and 1 wire on the television. So I took off the wire on the television that I knew was working, plugged in the other one of the wires from the box, and that was working. Then I plugged in the other wire, and that was where I thought, well, it must be the box then. Must be the box anyway. After a little bit of an investigation on the Google, it turns out that some people said you need to reset the FreeSat box, which will not delete any recordings you've got. And I thought, thank God for that, because you've got loads of stuff on there. It's like 70% full of all these TV programmes. I don't know about you, but often I'll record a whole series and a year later I'll be flicking, it's a whole series there that I recorded a year ago. I won't bother. And then I'll just delete the thing before I've watched it, because it's filling up all the time, this thing, isn't it? So it turns out to be the box. So I hard reset the box, and then you have to put all your information again, all your name and address and all that business. And it started working again. It couldn't see any signal at all coming from these 2 cables coming in. I reset the box and bang, it burst back into life again. So I'm glad that I didn't have any trouble with that. Andy, did you hear about the bloke on the airplane being racist to the black woman? Yes, I did. Awful. And she was old and disabled, which makes it even worse, doesn't it? It makes it even worse. What a dreadful man. Because he didn't want to sit next to her. He called her all sorts of names. Oh, it was horrible. Horrible. I'm so glad that... did he get prosecuted in the end? But the bloke from Ryanair, he did sod all, didn't he? He actually sided with the bloke who was the racist. I watched the video. He sided with the bloke. If there's any more problems, do let us know. Or some words to that effect. I thought, are you for real? Dreadful. I mean, why would... And I've said this time and time again. Why anyone would want to fly on an airline that doesn't give a toss about anyone? And if you've got an extra T-shirt, that's going to cost you an extra £10 to get on board. It is horrendous, Ryanair. Absolutely horrendous. I've been on there once. Never again. I was DJing. I'm going back here 15 years, 10 to 15 years. Okay, and I was DJing somewhere. I had all my CDs, and she wanted to charge me for them. They were all rude. Okay, I didn't receive the rudeness. They just told me I was going to have to pay extra for all these CDs to come on. At which point I started taking them out the case in front of her and putting them in pockets. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm taking them out the case so I don't have to put them in there." And then she said, "Oh, we'll just put them all on there." She was rude. And then someone else in the queue was moaning about Ryanair while he was queuing up to check in. And this old bag who just served me, she came from behind the box, behind that little box, because they're so important, aren't they? So important, behind that little box. And she come up, excuse me, has anyone come here, dragged you, kicking and screaming to get on one of our planes? And the bloke says no. Well, shut up then. And went back to her seat. That is the customer service level of Ryanair. The bloke who runs the thing, Michael O'Leary, who I think is a fantastic character, and I would happily sit down and have a laugh and a drink with him. Right? Would I get on one of his planes? Absolutely, because he doesn't give a toss about you. No way. But that woman, I wanted to go and cuddle her. The little old lady who that man was horrible to. Dreadful, dreadful man. Let's have good morning, Abdizirak. Morning to you, sir. Nice to see you again. Chris watched the film Hidden Figures and 3 black women that work for NASA. Google Katherine Johnson, a remarkable woman. I haven't seen that film. Don't know what it's about. Thank you very much. I shall try and remember to have a little look at that. Let's have a look. Dale Headley. Good morning, Dale. Hope you're well, Dale. Will you be in for a sing-song tonight? It's about time you sung at my karaoke, Dale. Morning to Adam the plumber. Hi to James, who's on his knees in the toilet with me today. Have you got Adam's a plumber. He fixes toilets. And sometimes he gets covered in it. Oh, bleh. Sorry, are you having breakfast? Awful. They're outing a toilet at the railway station. Oh, which station? Let's all go down there and have a party, shall we? Ants Galloway missed his birthday message on the 18th of October. Oh, well, unlucky Ants. Try and choose a birthday that you're going to have when I'm not on holiday. The good news is I've nothing booked now. There's no more holidays booked at all. I can't even say to you, well, I've got a holiday booked next spring. Nope, there are no holidays booked at the moment. I'm not a fan of flying. I'm really not. I'm not scared of flying. I mean, it does it go through your mind sometimes? You know, you're on a plane and you're sitting there doing whatever. And then suddenly into my mind drops the fact that there's nothing underneath me for 2 or 3 miles. There's just nothing there. How? And it just amazes me. I understand, I get physics and mathematics and all that, but there's nothing you can say that would change my opinion of how on earth do they get that plane up in the sky? And for it to stay there for 10, 12, 15, 20 hours, flying in the air with all those fat bodies and all their overpacked luggage. How does that happen? It just amazes me how these, let alone the little planes, but the big ones, the A380s and the Boeing 747s and 777s, how on earth do these planes stay up there? It's no point. No point in you saying, "Okay, sit down, Chris. I'll explain to you the understandings of lift and all that." Don't you know? You can write it all down on a piece of paper, numbers, and so that's how it takes off. I am still totally amazed at how planes take off, and who knows? One day they may take off on time as well. You know. Although I've got no complaints, none at all. Good morning to Jerry Cashmore Smith. Good morning, Jerry. Let's have a look. Ray says the black performers in Las Vegas hotels years ago were banned from staying there. So they would be like jazz musicians generally, I think, and things like that. But it's terrible how it was in those days. If you watched the Doctor Who, I was in tears, actually. I was absolutely in tears how Rosa was treated. It was Rosa Parks. Thank you, Joanna. Rosa Parks that was on the Doctor Who on the bus. It was awful, and as I say, generally, where I go, whatever countries I've travelled to, I don't really see racism anymore. Certainly, I think music and that has helped bringing people together and things like that. Because music has no language boundaries, does it? You know, I don't think I've ever seen racism in a club at all. I think years ago, when I was doing weddings, Chris Reddon's Mobile Disco, and you might be playing a little bit of reggae or a bit of soul. I was a big soul fan, and of course soul music. I mean, that's very black. You know, the people that sing the soul songs, they're all black. Jackie Graham, Luther Vandross, 80s soul, yeah, Luther Vandross, going back further, Diana Ross, all black. And I would love that music. I love that music. I'll be playing that a disco or something. And some so-and-so, I'm going back here to the 80s, would come up to me and say, and I quote, Have you got anything other than this jungle bunny music? You know, and I would just stand there in total amazement at what they'd just come up and said to me. But I certainly don't get that anymore ever. And I think once I came away from the weddings and gone into clubs, it just didn't happen. You know, so it's good that we've moved on. Just awful people. Dale is scared of flying. Are you really? Well, yeah, a lot of people are, Dale. You're not the only one. My nephew's still a bit worried about flying, but he gets on with it. You know, he puts his headphones on. He has a couple of glasses of champagne and he's asleep. Holiday to Cornwall. Wow, that's nice. It's not far, is it, Evan? I could be in the car and be down there in 4 hours, wouldn't it? What's Bracknell to Cornwall? It's not that far. Absolutely not that far at all, is it? Good. N says, I haven't seen an episode left like 10 seasons. What, Doctor Who? Doctor Who? Have you not watched that? Doctor Who? It's very, very good, and they did it really well. Good. So the journey back. Well, on the day just before we went back, we did do one last trip down the shops. I spent another few £100 on clothes. On clothes. This is a new jacket. This is a new shirt. You know. So I'm not doing too bad with the clothes. I always like to buy loads of clothes in America, even with the exchange rate, which is pretty pitiful at the moment. I think it's 125 now. It was 129 when we went. Even with that exchange rate, that's pretty bad. It's much, much cheaper to buy designer clothes if you go to the outlets. If you go to the designer outlets, wherever you are in America, in Vegas' case, they have a north outlets at one end and south outlets at the other end. And the north one is better. If you go to Vegas, don't bother going to the south one. It's not as good. If you go to both, that's okay. Go to both and you'll see what I mean. The north ones are so much better. And we popped back there on the... What day did we come home? Tuesday. We popped back there on Tuesday morning because we had a few hours to spare before the plane was taken off, and I got a few more bits and pieces. And also I had to take back a pair of jeans because I've got a pair of Levi's jeans and I bought one pair while I was there and got them back. And I tried to wear them out one night. Oh my God, they were so tight around my waist. And what had happened, I picked up the wrong type of jeans. I buy the ones that are more stretchy now, you know? So if you've got a little bit of excess weight, which I have at the moment, of course I have. I've just been to bloody Las Vegas. Can you eat there? Do you ever see so much as a carrot or a pea? No, it's all pizzas and burgers and pasta. Oh, pasta. We went to this all-you-can-eat pasta place one night. And we did. Ate whatever we could. It was nice, actually. They brought out... One of the items on the menu was they bring out four different, a bit of each pasta, okay? And they put it on, and then as it empties, they fill it up again. So you've got like 4 little bowls and a lasagna. The lasagna's the meat, so my nephew had that one. And these little bowls of pasta, so you ate those, and they just filled them out, all different types. So we had that one night. But very difficult to eat healthily in Vegas. I mean, really was. It's all burgers, all fast food restaurants, but not like fast food here. You know, like you go down, let's take a street, some of the streets, Camden High Street, for example, and a lot of the streets in South London, and you'll have a row of shops, kebabs, chips, burgers, kebabs, rows of them. There's so much crap food being sold in this country on the high streets now. Not quite like that. In fact... all the time we were there, I never saw one kebab shop. Whether they just don't work there, I don't know. But there were no kebab shops. There were plenty of corporate fast food places. McDonald's, but I think it's Barrows, something like that. They do Italian stuff. Subway, of course. Didn't see a Kentucky Fried Chicken. Didn't see a KFC. So they're all like, there are fast food and plenty of fast food places there, but they're corporate. You've got no independent kebab shops owned by a family, or at least we didn't see any while we were there. So that's all you can eat, really. Difficult to look. And I managed to put on £5 while I was there, Claire. You'll be horrified to know. I put on £5 while I was there. But I've got back here and I've been straight on the slimming world ever since I got back. Bang on it, actually. But absolutely bang on the slimming world. Yesterday, I made one of my campfire stews. And I'm putting all this stuff together in the big hot pot. And I got one of the things you put in it is Frank's hot sauce. And if you read the instructions, it says a dash of Frank's hot sauce, which is, that's it, that's a dash. Well, of course, I've got this, and I always put in a little bit more, as in like that, okay? So I've got the bottle, I've gone, the top's come off. Well, thank God it wasn't a whole bottle, that's all I'm saying. It was about, I would say there was about a third of a bottle in there. Anyway, I have had it since, and it was edible. But my God, it was hot. Blew my head off. Blew me head off. Morning to Merlin this morning. Morning, Merlin. And Stephen Lusher. Hello, Stephen. A happy Friday morning from Singapore to young Stephen. Good morning to you. I've never been to Singapore yet. I've stopped there. That's a lovely airport, isn't it? Singapore. Isn't it clean? Clean. And lovely men walking around with big old guns. We do like a big old gun. Wayne says, Chris, holidays are for eating and enjoying what you like. Yeah, I'm of that opinion, Wayne. I'm of that opinion. What is the point of going on holiday? Oh, I can't. Oh no, I'm doing the slimming world. You have your burger and chips. I'll just have a piece of gherkin or something like that. There's no point in doing that, is it? Absolutely no point in doing that. Well, the hotel room's expensive. I don't know, because I do a Thomas Cook package thing. I always generally go to Thomas Cook or somewhere who do the whole package. So I don't know. However, I have to tell you, Adrian, that I'm on this Vegas.com thing, and they're always sending through offers, and some of the hotel rooms are $45 a night, and that'd be a decent hotel. That'd be reasonable. You know, maybe 3 to 4 star type hotel. Perfectly all right. Massive hotel with a massive casino in it. You've never seen so many fruit machines in all your life. As you go out there. In fact, even when you get out the airport in Vegas, McLaren International Airport, you go through there, there's machines everywhere, fruit machines everywhere. So you can do it if you want to. It's $45 a night. But be warned, okay? Because the Vegas authorities slap a tax on the room you're staying in for however many nights you're there. Okay? And I think per room, it costs me for the week about £180, £190. That was the tax on the room. All right? So that $45 a night is probably more like $65, $70 a night there. But of course, peanuts in comparison to what you pay in some of these London hotels. £300, £400, £500 a night for what? For what? You'll be all right in there, Adrian. The hotel rooms are very, very reasonable. They're all sort of clean. The hotel we stayed at was the Excalibur. If you've got any questions, fire them up about the holiday, okay? We stayed at the Excalibur Hotel, which it was fine. It was clean. It was all right. It's looking a little bit tired, you know. Could do with having the carpets changed and some paint on the wall. But apart from that, you know, the other thing that always surprises me in Vegas is that you can smoke everywhere. So these casinos, I mean, it's surprising really. They must have very good air extraction units because they're not full of smoke. They're really not. But everyone's in there. They're all smoking away, sitting on machines, drinking and smoking. N says he stayed for, N on Periscope. Good morning to you, sir. Stayed for 2 nights for $90 with a beautiful hidden old style casino. We like old style. I do like old style. Now, there is another part of Vegas. Okay, if you go, you'll probably stay on what's known as the Strip. That's where all the big hotels. But there's an old Vegas called Fremont. Fremont Street is in old style Vegas. And we went down there and we preferred it to the Strip. It's much more gritty and down to earth down there. And if you saw the video that we did videos every day, as I say, while I was there. We did do a video of Fremont Street, okay? And it's all lights and strange, very odd people walking around, and we loved it. And if you go and eat something there, it's much cheaper as well. So Fremont Street is the way to go there. Oh, are you a girl, N? I didn't know that. Have you told me that before? I thought you was a bloke. Sorry. Sorry. Paul says they slapped an after tax when we went to Paris in September, and £80 that we knew nothing about. Yeah. Yeah, very strange. Paul says, I saw your wrong order, that mushroom dead animal burger. Yeah, I ordered this mushroom burger. For some reason in my head, I thought, well, that bit just be mushrooms. Anyway, without even looking, I bit into it and it was a dead animal. So I accidentally ate a piece of dead animal on holiday, which I spat out immediately. And then I pulled out the burger and gave it to my nephew, but he didn't want it. Dear me. Claire says, losing weight is the fun part. You'll get it off in no time. 10 weeks to Christmas. Good target. That should be off within 3 weeks, I reckon, Claire. Maybe 2 if I'm really lucky. Don't want to starve yourself. As you know, Claire, starving yourself does no one any favours, because then you're even more tempted to eat more rubbish. Merlin, they do the city and resort fees now in most American cities. Do they really? Okay. Yeah, you don't really know about that until you get there. But it put £400 near enough onto the price of the holiday by the time you'd finish. And they take that tax as soon as you get there. Don't think you get to the end of the week, right? And then it's another bill for you to pay. No. As you check in, they ask for your credit card and they take that tax there and then. Before you've even started your holiday, you spent £400. Jeez. It's all too much, isn't it, really? Paris, Rome, Venice, and even some London places. What, in London they do a tax? What authority takes that? Westminster, is it? Do you ever wonder what all these people do with the money? Yeah, I saw a post the other day. I think it was one of those Facebook type, status type things that people do there. And it was saying we're taxed for this. And where is the money? Where does the money go? And you have to ask yourself, where does the bloody money go? We've still got holes in the road, haven't we? Dear. Adrian, when I went there years ago, it was cheap but good room. Yeah, it's still cheap there, Adrian. It's just that tax. Greedy. Old school Vegas. I really liked it there, where the Golden Nugget Casino was. I think, if I'm right in saying that, was the first ever casino that they had in Vegas, the Golden Nugget Casino. That's where Fremont Street and all the old stuff is. But you need to keep your eyes open when you're walking around there. We were told by a couple of people that it wasn't really a good place to be at night. I can't go along with that at all. We went there at night. We went on the Saturday night, the busiest time. We went down this Fremont Street and then came out of Fremont Street and walked along past the Golden Nugget and places like that. And you could see that you needed to keep your eyes open. But no different, really, from walking through London, I'll be honest with you. We didn't feel particularly unsafe. We felt that you could have something happen there. But you keep your eyes open, you keep out of trouble, and that's it. I don't let that stop you going down there. Jason says, my grammar is amazing. Sorry, I'm mudlarking on the River Thames. This is Thames Television, operating on the London area transmitters of the Independent Broadcasting Authority. Do you know there are people out there who have never heard of Thames Television now? 26 years ago. Is it 26 years? Something like that. Jason, if you're not gambling while you're there, you get deported. I don't gamble, Jason. I don't gamble. I gambled once while I was there, which I'll come to in a minute. I heard about Guy. I think you find he lost £7.5, Wayne, not £6. Do try and get your information correct, dear. I think you find it was £7.5 he's lost in his first week, Guy. Of course, the first week you do the Slimming World is when you lose the most weight, but good on him. Absolutely good on him. Russ, hope the holiday was good. The weather was fine. Yes, it was. It was very, very nice, the weather. The whole time it was lovely. One night, where a crack of thunder, it was about 4 a.m, woke me up. Blimey. And of course, being it's kind of surrounded by mountains, so you hear this thunder and it echoes all around it. It went like that. Scary. I only heard one really loud clap, which woke me up, and a little bit of lightning while I was there. Morning to Hayley. Morning, Hayley. Hope you're well, darling. Merlin says it's not a city tax, but a resort fee. Right. What, in Vegas? I don't know if in Vegas. I think that is a city tax. Perhaps you'll have a quick look at it for us, Merlin, and see if we're correct there. All right. The journey back from Vegas was all right. We're lucky enough to be able to use the business lounge because we got a good deal actually on the flight. We do the business flights. We save up the money because it's so much more comfortable. You know, some people, okay, some people spend the money on the hotel. I like to spend the money on the flight. There's nothing worse than being uncomfortable in a plane. In fact, even in the business seats, you've got a lot more room. It's 1,000 times better than sitting in economy. Yes, it is going to cost you more money, but I have always said this, you know, if you can afford it, save the money on the hotel, go to a 2 or 3 star hotel. What do you need a nice hotel for? Why do you need to stay in a 5-star luxury hotel covered in marble and all that? What, you're going to sit in a room for the whole week, are you? No! We were hardly in our rooms, only to sleep. That was it. Only to sleep. And his room was 2 doors down from me. And we wanted to be sort of fairly close together. And, you know, he's 21, and he's not my son, he's my nephew. And he should have his own room. So I got him his own room, and he was only 2 doors down. Knock on. Come on, are you up yet? I had to wake him up a couple of times. Fast asleep in his bed. We were supposed to be going out and doing stuff. But we were hardly in our room, so spend the money on the flight, and it's so much more comfortable. You get to use the business lounges, of course. The one at Gatwick was lovely, really nice. The one at Vegas, not so nice. It was all right, but it was kind of, again, a bit tired. Like they had one shower there, which was part of the toilet. Do you know what I mean? There was so you go in the men's toilets, and on the left there is one shower. And it's like first come, first served. Completely unlike Gatwick, where there's several showers and all beautiful glass and all that. No, this was quite tired. But I was very lucky because I do like to have a shower directly before I get on a plane. Can I just blow my nose here? Excuse me. I really do like to have a shower just before I get on a plane. So I managed to get in there and have a shower. Jimmy didn't want a shower. So we had that. The food in the Vegas one, again, that was pretty basic. I had this vegetable lasagna, and quite frankly, you had trouble finding the vegetables in there. It was mainly pasta. It was mainly lasagna there. Mainly the pasta bits in, but great big thick bit, and then tiny little bits of vegetables. But it was okay, you know. The plane that we got on going there was old. British Airways plane. It was an old plane, inside and out. And actually, it was difficult to watch the little television screen. I got to be honest, it was a bit blurry. I thought it was mine, but my nephew said the same thing. The screen was blurry. Perhaps that's because nowadays we're all used to high definition sets, aren't we? We've all got HD TV nowadays. But on the plane coming back, I sat down and I thought this is a bit clean here. And I said to the steward, I said, is this a new plane? He said, no, we've just had a refit in here. And we had little high-definition tellies, and everything was clean and sparkling. It can't have happened too long ago. The carpet was all clean. There was no stains anywhere. Oh, no. I saw in the papers while I was out there, I kept an eye on the Daily Mail, and some bloke, apparently, he'd got a business seat, British Airways, and he sat down in his seat, I don't know when this was, a few weeks ago or whatever it was, and he suddenly became aware that it was all a bit wet, and it was someone had weed on the seat. And the British Airways people came over, tried to take the cover off to change it, but the wet had gone all the way through. Oh, isn't that awful? Weeing on the seat like that. Anyway, there was no wee on my seat. It was all new. Lovely and new, just inside the plane. So that was nice. We were served by the trolley dolly, person going up and down doing the food. Was an older bloke, actually. Some old queen. It was ever so nice. He really was nice. And I said to him, how long have you been on a plane? He said, only about 10 years. He said, I had a mid-age, what's that, mid-age crisis? Is it a mid-age crisis? He had a mid-age crisis. What it was is he was doing a job, I think in sales or something like that. And it's all pressure all the time. You know what people are like selling? They just want more, and we've had this discussion before, you and I. People just want more and more and more. People are greedy, especially the people at the top. You know, it doesn't matter how much money they make; they will always want more and more and more. If you're working for someone, you sweat yourself silly. You sweat yourself silly trying to make more and more money. Oh, thanks very much for that £10. Let's see if we can do 11 tomorrow. And it's just more and more and more. And he got fed up with the pressure of sales. He got so fed up with the pressure, and he said he would go home and then he might get a phone call when he used to do this sales job from whoever's in charge, and they would say to him, "Oh, you haven't made so much. What can you tell us why that is?" He said now that he works on the planes, and he must have been close to my age. I reckon he was about 50, 55, this bloke who was serving us. And as I say, ever such a nice queen. Oh, he really was nice, and they all are, though. Those British Airways cabin crew, I don't think I've ever come across one that I haven't been pleased with, and I've been lots of BA flights. I've never come across one that I haven't been pleased with. And he said he decided to go flying. He said, and he loves it. He absolutely loves it. He said he gets a bit tired sometimes. I'm not surprised walking up and down serving teas and coffees. But he said, when I go home, that's it until I'm back on again. You don't hear from the company at all. They don't ring up and say, Mrs. So-and-so complained about her tea. If there was a complaint, he would hear about that, I suppose, when he goes back in again. And he's so much happier. There's no pressure. Of course, the pressure is there while you're at the job. You know, it's like a lot of jobs that all of us do. Even when I'm doing my karaoke, I feel sometimes under an incredible amount of pressure sometimes doing a karaoke night. I know you don't, you probably won't see that. Those people that know me really well will know when they're looking at me, oh, Chris is under a bit of pressure tonight. You'd be able to tell. Generally, most people don't, because people always want something. Want this, want that, want this, want that. And you know... But when I finished. You know, the governor doesn't start ringing up and saying, oh, Chris, this happened tonight. No, don't hear from him at all until I go back in again. And that's what you want from a job. You know, when a job is finished, so for example, tonight I finish at 12 o'clock. Now, as far as I'm concerned, at 12 o'clock, I finish. I've done everything I need to do, and I just want to go out the door and go home. And you're completely detached from the job until you go back in again. You know? You can't have people ringing up and saying, oh, that, you know, this, that and the other. You don't want any of that, whether it's from staff or customers or anything like that. Once it's finished, it's finished. With that sort of, the sort of sales job that this queen was in, he said they were just ringing up all the time. Can you do this? Can you do that? You know, in his own time. The job's finished. So that's why he went on the plane. And as I say, such a nice man and changing. And I said, well, funny enough, I was a bit like that a few years ago when I came out of the DJing. Because I didn't want to DJ anymore. I didn't want to DJ anymore for some years before I actually stopped it. And I needed a reason to stop DJing. And funnily enough, it was the place in Clapham I used to work at. And I just hated it in there. It just seems so fake in there all the time. Not that it's not successful, because it is. It's a very, very successful bar, that one in Clapham I used to work in. But it just wasn't for me. And it wasn't for me when I joined it 18 years ago, or whatever it is now, 19 years ago. I didn't feel I fitted in straight away. You've got to fit in a place. But I kept going. I just took the money, basically. I just turned up and took the money, but I hated it for years. And then the governor called me and he said, look, we want to open until 3 o'clock in the morning on Thursdays. That's it, I'm gone. Thank you very much for the work. I'm gone. And that was it. Then, you know, I became much happier then after that. Because you don't want that. It's just horrible. I mean, I'm sure there's one or two of you who have to do jobs that you don't particularly like doing, do you? I just can't think of anything worse. Now, I just work 3 nights a week. That's enough for me. Don't want to work any more than that. I do work 3 nights a week. I work in a place that appreciates what I do, and I appreciate the job that is given to me, and it's all working very well. At some point, that job will finish. All these entertainment jobs, whether it's, you know, on stage in Vegas or hosting a little karaoke night in a North London pub, all jobs come to the end eventually. And when they do come to the end, That's it. You say thank you very much for the money. That's it. You must never feel bitter. You know, it could be me that decides, oh, I can't be bothered to do this anymore. What would do me in is the traffic. It's the traffic that would do me in. I can't bear sitting in traffic. I only do it once a week now. I only do the traffic thing once a week now, which will be tonight. Usually it's is it tonight? Yeah, it'd be tonight. Going from Bracknell, here in Berkshire, going from Berkshire to King's Cross on a Friday night or a Monday night is an absolute nightmare. Absolutely. It will probably take me 2 hours to get to work tonight, as it always does. Whether it's, strangely enough, from the north, it takes 3.5 hours coming down from Lincolnshire, where I usually am. Today, I'm usually in Lincolnshire at that time. Today, however, I'm in Bracknell because I've just been on holiday. Coming down from Lincolnshire, it takes 3.5 hours, but you're constantly moving. You don't hit any traffic. Very little traffic. Takes 3.5 hours to do 140 miles. Today, to do 30 miles, it would take me 2 hours. And you get to London, stop, start all the time. It's a nightmare. So that might do me in. On the other hand, it might be that the night, people get fed up with the karaoke and they stop coming. All jobs come to the end at some point. People get fed up with you. Yes, they do. People get fed up. If you had Shirley Bassey on stage every single night and you went to see her every single night, you'd soon get fed up with her. Of course you would. It's just how it is, and you accept that. On the plane, my nephew slept for about 6 hours. I slept for about 4 hours. I just closed my eyes and woke up, and there was only a little while to go. I watched a couple of films, one of which was The Journey. Anyone seen The Journey? And it's about these British army people who were on the front line in Germany. I think they're in France, actually, possibly France. I'm sure they were in France. And they're basically sent in and they're going to die. They're surrounded by and they know that. They know that before they get in. So that was a good film. Very sad. I watched a couple of episodes. I was very pleased to note that Dad's Army was on there. Interestingly enough, the selection of films coming back from Vegas to here was much better than the selection of films and TV programmes going out there. I don't know why that is, but it generally is always different on the way back. Watch the BBC News on the plane as well, although that's never up to date, you see. That's the latest news that they've downloaded onto the plane before they've left England. So that was like, I don't know, 12, 24 hours old or something like that. No BBC News in the hotel, strangely enough, on their television thing in the hotel. Not that I watched much telly in the hotel, because I didn't. All they had on, I think it was MSN News or something like that. The computer people, MSN News, and Fox. Fox, which is just like a bad version of Sky, really. It's loud, it's brash, and no, I'm not really a fan of Fox News. But no BBC News in a hotel. Usually you can find that in hotels, BBC World News, but they didn't have it on there in the hotel room. I must say it's very easy to get lost in these hotels in Vegas. They are enormous, these hotels. Absolutely enormous. And you're trying to find, you might want to go to the toilet and the restrooms down there. Their toilets are funny in the States, aren't they? They kind of, when you flush the chain, it's almost like the deposits that you've left in the toilet are sucked away. They don't just go down gently. They literally pull the chain and go, and, whatever. Never seem to get a blocked toilet in the States, do you? Let's just go back onto some of your messages there, boys and girls. N says you can watch old Doctor Who episodes with the Daily Mail. Can you really? Do you mean Daily Motion? Yeah, Daily Motion. Yeah, I know that one. Daily Motion, which is a website on there. Right Side Up, a very good morning to you on Vaughan Live, who says, my job needed me to always be thinking about it. Too much going on, planning and remembering what to do all the time. Yeah, you see, you don't want that stress, is it? Once you've finished work, you want to go home and forget all about it. Thank you, Andy. Midlife crisis. That's the term I was looking for there. Midlife crisis. Where are we going? Let me see there. Thank you. Merlin. In Vegas, it's both. In London, it's just the resort fee. Oh, okay, so it's a resort fee in Vegas, is it? Isn't it a con, though? They just more and more money these people want. Merlin, BA economy is dreadful. Even their premium economy is awful. Well, with the. I've got to tell you this. I've got to tell you this. When we were at the airport checking in, okay, so we got to the front of the queue. Well, there was no queue. Just in the business thing, you have your own little line, and there's rarely anyone in front of you. So we gone up to the thing. She said, "Hello, gentlemen. If just put your cases on there, please." And I took no weight home at all. So I can take home, if you're flying on the business, you've saved up your money and you're flying on the business, you can take 2 cases, both worth 32 kilograms each. I had 1 case, 22 kilograms. That was it. I could have taken so much more home, but then, of course, you've got the struggling of carrying a damn thing for the airport and all that business. So I was up with mine. So we checked our cases and he said, right, she said, British Airways would like to offer you both $800 each because we're short of seats and we've overbooked. I said, well, what's happened then? She says, we've got 2 members of staff that need to start working from Gatwick, where you're going to now, when they get there, and they need to sleep before they get there, and we've got nowhere for them to sleep. And they offered us $800 each, so that would be about £1,400 to drop down to premium economy. And I won't lie to you, I did think about it. I did think it's not bad. £1,400 to drop down a level to premium economy. She said, you'll be in seats J. She says, leg room's okay there. I said, but the seats don't go flat, do they? She said, no, I'm afraid not. I said, no, we don't want to do it. She says, that's fine. She says, we're not going to go on and on at you. She said, we'll only ask once, but it was $800 each. They offered us that to give up our seats. And I said, no. Besides, it's my nephew, innit? I'm not going to, almost like selling your nephew, really, innit? I'm not going to sell him and go down a level. Why book it in the first place if you'd be happy to go down there? No, so uncomfortable for 10 hours with my legs up someone else's arse in front of me. No, don't want to do it. So we turned it down. And I won't lie to you, we picked up the bags and I'm going through the security. I'm thinking, I can't believe I've just turned down £1,400 just for changing the seat for a few hours. And I said to him, would you have done it to my nephew? And he said, I would have thought about it. I don't think he would have done it either, actually. Because once you've paid for it, haven't you? It's done. You've already paid for the holiday. So it just, I mean, a bonus, I suppose. They must have found someone to do it, I suppose, eventually. It's a lot of money to turn down, isn't it? £1,400. Oh, dear. Merlin says Vegas airport lounges are dreadful. Even Virgin Atlantic lounge are dreadful. Do you know what? I've only flown once Virgin Atlantic years and years ago. And that was going to Florida. And it was all right. You know, I always remember on the last day of the Florida one, Virgin Airways, and again, a basic hotel. Wasn't a Disney hotel. And on the last day, we took our cases to this big truck, which was in the Great Universal Car Park. Big truck there. We took our case. No, I was on my own. Took my case there, put them on the lorry, and that's it. Goodbye cases. So then you had the whole day to enjoy it in Disney or whatever it was we did. I can't remember. Or whatever it was I did. I can't remember now. Was I on my own or was with someone? I can't remember now. I might have been with my mate at the time, Steve. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, and you put your cases on this truck and off it went. That was it. And you just turned up at the hotel with your passport and tickets. Sorry, at the airport with your passports and tickets. That was before I discovered business travelling. That's before that. Honestly, on a long flight, I highly recommend you save up the money and pay for that extra legroom on the plane. It's not about the food. The food on the plane, diabolical. I'm sorry it was. Even I didn't enjoy the food at all. I really didn't. I kind of survived on bread rolls. I ticked the vegetarian thing. And this meal came, that old queen, she come down to me. She said, you've ordered a vegetarian meal. She said, well, it doesn't look very nice. Do you want something else? I said, well, let's have a look then. She opened this packet. And there were just these 2 round black things in front of me. And what are they? She said, it's supposed to be mushrooms. He said, shall I get you the pasta? I said, no, go on, put it down in front of me. I'll give it a go. Okay. So let's put this thing down in front of me. I couldn't even cut the bloody things up. She came back about an hour later, a few minutes later. She said, what did you think? I said, can I have the pasta, please? He said, I thought you might. I didn't enjoy the food on there at all. You see, the trouble is, they try and ponce it up a bit, don't they? They can't just give you a plate, a little thing with some potatoes and baked beans or something like that. No, they put all these sauces. Oh, it's just horrible food. Didn't enjoy. I gave the food 2 out of 10 on the survey. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. When I used to eat dead animals, in actual fact, the beef and chicken dinners were fairly reasonable because you've got this bit of beef, you've got a bit of potato, and you might have some peas and carrots, and that was okay. But there was one bloke, he had fish, and then there's, of course, endless salads, dear. I mean, do I look like a rabbit? I don't want a salad. Don't want a salad. But the bread rolls were very nice. They were warm and butter and... And the bloke next to my nephew, he had, at one point, the full English breakfast came and they took the top off. Well, I don't think the sausage had been cooked. It was still white. Who wants to eat a white sausage? Yes. Wayne, let's have a look. Last Friday, Wayne says we had a big group in. Can we be next and getting on the stage when it wasn't their turn? Well, sling them off, Wayne. I don't have any of that. People coming on the stage when there's other people singing. I do my best. I will stop the music and ask them to leave. I'm sorry, could you get off the stage now? It's not your turn. Oh, yeah, but they said we can dance with them, and they don't. When people come up and they do the karaoke, right? I've had people come up and grab the other mic. What are you doing? He said we could sing with him. And I'll say, did you say that? No. People lie. They lie. No, I would have slung them off, Wayne. Good morning to Alan Russell. He's moved. He's in Braintree in Essex now. Good morning, Alan. Welcome to our show. Is our signal as good in Essex? Is it such a good signal down there? Is the picture slightly degraded, I wonder? Merlin, the attitude I have is the day I wake up and go, I don't want to work today, is the day I leave and walk away. Oh, I've walked away from jobs, Merlin. You know when it's time to... Unless the money's good. And the money was good in Clapham, I'll be honest with you. I just stayed for the money. That's what I was there for. I've always said, the particular job that I do, whether it's DJ, karaoke, you shouldn't do it for the money. You really shouldn't. You need to be happy in the job. But that one, it was good money, even though it didn't go up for 10 years. It stayed the same for 10 years. But even after 10 years, it was a pretty good stash, to go in and work 4 hours and get paid what I used to get there. So that's why I stayed at that place. But I wasn't happy at all. One of those things. Alan says, on the subject of the plane money, a lot of people would have taken an offer, especially the singers who come to your karaoke. What? Shall I offer them £1,400 to come and sing for me? I don't think so, mate. We didn't find... There was karaoke in Vegas, but we didn't go to any, unfortunately. My nephew weren't interested in that. Merlin, Virgin only go as far as business, but it means the product is streamlined and good value. I've not been on the Virgin upper class thing. I've not been on that. I've not been. I would like to go on that. I was talking to someone on the plane, actually. I think it was the old Queen again, the one who was serving us. He was such a nice man, he really was. I said, where's the best place to go for Christmas? He said, New York. He said, you want to be in New York for Christmas? I said, now, the only New York Christmas I know is what I've seen in films. Surely it's not like that. And he said it is. Everything is done up and it's beautiful in New York at Christmas. Vegas, they might put a bit of tinsel apparently on the trees, but that's about it. So you don't want to perhaps bother going to Vegas at Christmas. New York is the place to go at Christmas. And perhaps that's something I could do in the future, because I would like to see New York at Christmas as well, I must admit. Hello, Chris. Little Dukey Chris is there. Good morning, Chris. Hope you're well there. Nice to see you, sir. Good. Right, we've done that bit there. I told you about the language. Got back here. My mate come and picked us up. Got back here on Wednesday morning. The plane journeys to and from, all on time. No delays anywhere, no hold-ups, no trouble. All the planes were on time and there was nothing that went wrong on the journey whatsoever. Or indeed the holiday. There was no problem on the holiday or on the plane. The problem occurred was when my nephew went to get a train back from here to his house, his house in Lincolnshire. This is what happened. Now, part of this is his fault, right? Because I told him weeks and weeks ago, get your plane. What about the bombs though? What bombs, Matthew? There were no bombs. What bombs? Oh, Merlin goes to Christmas every year. Do you really? Oh, I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that. I would like to go to New York. So, we're back here. Weeks ago, I told my nephew to get his train ticket from here. He said, what time do we get in? I said, 10:30. Get your train ticket for after 3:30, just to be on the safe side. Okay. Right? Do you know when he started getting his train ticket? The day before we are due to leave Vegas. So he's rung up my sister and told her to get the ticket for him. This was the day before, and I think the price was something like 35 quid to go from Bracknell Station to Grantham Station in Lincolnshire, where my sister would pick him up from there, my sister and her husband Martin. So, okay, he's not done it. On the last day of the holiday, and I told him to do this because I know for a fact that if you buy a ticket, sort of longish distance, not from here to London, it's the same all the time, but if you buy a ticket to go anywhere that's of a distance, and you do it on the same day that you're going, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. I know that for a fact. I never forget, I was waiting for a train, queuing up for a ticket in Bracknell a few years ago. I wanted to go to Hampstead, because I go to the hospital there a couple of times a year. And woman in front of me wanted a ticket from Rugby, and he wanted to charge her £320. Why? Because she wanted to go now. So anyway, my nephew said to me, no, that's all right, I'll do it on the day. I'm like, well, it's going to cost you more. No, it won't. I've checked it all out. Okay. Anyway, the day before, he's rung up my sister, arranged to get tickets. Then he said to me, he's got the email from the train people telling him that the tickets were available and to produce the payment card for which he bought the tickets in the machine. Well, of course, he hasn't got that because my sister is the one who bought the sitter tickets. So he's told me this on the morning before. But don't worry, I'll sort it out at the station. It'll be okay. Fair enough. Okay. So we've got back here about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think it was. About 3:30, we took him up to the station. I said, give us a ring if you have any more problems. Fine, okay. He said, I haven't got much battery on my phone, which I'm not surprised at. He's one of those people, tapped the whole bloody holiday. Tap, 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 tap on this damn iPhone all the time. Couldn't leave the phone alone for well, he had to, because he doesn't have the roaming data. Now, I'm lucky I'm on the 3 network. I've got a list as long as my arm of countries that I can make phone calls in and use the internet as part of my package. All included. He can't do that. He can only use the Wi-Fi. So when we were out in the street, he had to put his phone in his pocket. The moment we entered a Wi-Fi area, it's out of the pocket, tap, 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 tap all the time. So his battery keeps going flat all the time. He's just on the damn phone all the time. I mean, what can you find to do all the time? Tapping away on your bloody phone. And to be fair, he's not the only one. You've only got to look around in the streets nowadays. They are addicted to these damn smartphones. People. All the time. Look at a station. Next time you're on a train, have a look around. Tapped at it, staring into space on this tiny little screen. So, dropped him off at the train station, and we're coming back. I've just popped into Aldi to get some blueberries. And the phone rang, and it's my nephew. Can you come and get the tickets? the bloke at the station's being an arsehole when he won't give me the ticket. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay, no problem at all. So I went up there and I knew this would happen. It says you need the payment card that you made the payment with. So we've gone in there. So I've got to the station. He said, I just tried to do it again. Right? So he's now bought a second ticket online. And guess what? With my sister's bank card again. Can't get the ticket because it's asking for the bank card. So we've gone in, right? And again, it was about 35 quid online or something. I can't remember what. We've gone back in. Said to the bloke, you want to buy a train ticket? He said, so bloke said, that's £85, please. And of course, my nephew's gone, what? How is it £85? He said, well, that's what it is. He said, I just tried to do it from the machine, but it won't give me because it wants a payment card. He said, yeah, but you want to go now. You know, and it's such a con, the whole train thing. Why is it £85? Is it packed so that no one can get on it? No, it's not packed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, he swears blind that the machine told him it was £35. He said, well, it's not, mate. He said, it's £85 because you want to go now. He said, well, we'll go back to the machine. So we've gone out to the machine. £85. That's what it is. So I've chucked £85 into the machine, which he's going to pay me back. Got the ticket and off he went. Meantime, I rung up my sister. She's on the phone to the train authorities trying to get a refund of the 2 tickets that he's already bought. But guess what? They won't give him a refund because the train has gone. Now, they must know at the other end that no one has collected the tickets. We haven't used the journey, but that's the rules. What a bloody con. But that is the rules. Once the train's gone, apparently, you can't get a refund on the ticket. And apparently my sister's husband went on the phone as well and said to them, well, it's only just gone now. You know, it went 2 minutes ago, this train. Well, it's gone. You know, whether it's 2 minutes or an hour, it's gone. And so a right disaster. And a few hours later, I rang up my nephew and asked him if he you're home okay. He said, and it was a text actually. It was a couple of texts going back and forth just to check he'd got home all right. And what he said, really brought it to mind in this bloody country with their shocking, absolutely shocking, this country with trains and all that. We've gone all the way to Las Vegas by plane, by taxis, minicabs, taxis. Taxis out there are fantastic, not expensive, very helpful. You always want to get a taxi from a hotel. Go to the hotel and where people are waiting for the taxi, get one from there so you know it's a proper taxi. Do you know what I mean? You could get into a car, do you know it's a taxi? Could be anyone, take you around the corner and murder you with an axe or something like that. So you always get it. Everything runs so smoothly until he wanted to get a train from Bracknell to Grantham. And that's where it all went terribly wrong. But a wonderful holiday, really. We've had a wonderful time. And he is the person that I should be going on holiday with because we always do have a really good time. And that was my little holiday stuff. Michael Lawrence says, glad you had a nice time. Thank you very much, Michael. Matthew, bombs in the USA, New York, all over the news, Chris. Oh, yeah, but not on the planes. Not on the planes, fortunately. Nothing on the planes there at all. Good. N says, I can't believe you're still talking. I can go for hours, but not any longer now because I'm out of time for the show this morning. Okay, gang? I'm going to do today's birthdays. If you're new to the show, welcome along. I'm here most mornings, usually around about 9:30 in the morning if you ever want to join us. Okay? By whatever method you're watching now. Tonight, I'll be hosting karaoke. That's at Central Station Bar. Where's our little poster for that? There we are, Friday. There it is. Karaoke tonight at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Friday karaoke from 8:30. Don't forget, it's Lady Phoenix's birthday today. So if you know her, come down, bring her a little gift, a card or something like that, all right? Let's mention today's birthdays as well. I'll do today's and yesterday's as well today. Jade, Lady Phoenix's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Look forward to seeing her tonight at the karaoke, all right? Tom Harris, who does his own podcasts, is a young 56 years old today. Good morning, Tom. Hope you're well. Happy birthday to you, all right? Barry Poulton Midani is 38 years old. Hello, Barry. Happy birthday. Aeyrton Key, happy birthday to you, sir, on this Friday, the 26th of October. Andrew Walker is 39 years old today. Peachees Peachy. What a lovely name. 32 years old today. Bob Eberth is 68 years old. Adam Bear Ludlow is 39. Good morning, Adam. Happy 39th to you today. Luca Pietro Zanelli is 31 on this Friday. Khaitie Delati, good morning to you. Happy birthday. Lovely eyes you've got, my dear. Bradley Hodder is 31 years old on this Friday. Okay, they're today's birthdays. And I can only go back one day on the system, all right? So all the birthdays that have been while I was in Vegas, I'm sorry if you missed those. Maybe next year. All right? Yesterday's birthdays, the delightful Laura Tazy Barnes. A lovely young lady. She comes to the karaoke often. Happy birthday, Laura, for yesterday. Hope you had a nice time, all right? Aoife, I can never say your name. Aoife Nai Shiliban. Now, he does films. He makes films. He's 34 years old yesterday. Happy birthday to you, sir. Lou was 31 years old today. Happy birthday, Lou. Kevin Daly, 35 years old yesterday. Kevin Daly, 35 years old yesterday. Stuart Brennan, old black cap customer. Can you believe you're 48 years old? Who's this now? Hello? 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 Nah, go away, you old bag. That's one of those accident helplines trying to sell me accident services. Were you in an accident a few years ago? No, I wasn't. Why do they think I was? Careful driver, dear. I'm the one on the motorway that does 50 mile an hour and blocks all the traffic. Back to these birthdays. Stuart Brennan, 48 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Stuart, all right? Absolute pleasure knowing you. Stephen Terry Parker. Good morning, Stephen Parker. Do you still do your podcasts? Happy birthday to you. Adam Schenk. Nice picture of you there, Adam. Happy birthday for yesterday. Damon Fox for yesterday. Andy Webb. That's my best mate's other half. It was his birthday yesterday. Don't say your age there. Are you 30 now? 30, 31, 32, something like that. Happy birthday, Andy. Zaza Allure was 109 years old today. I think I might delete that one because I don't think they exist. Sharon Wow, we got a lot of birthdays at the moment. 39 yesterday. Richard Monaghan's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Robert Cooper, 45 yesterday. You seem to have disappeared, Robert. I don't know why you've disappeared, haven't you, my love? Happy birthday to you. And John Dixon yesterday was 28. You're the baby today, 28 years old yesterday. Happy birthday to you all, gang. Sing along, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. There we are. Happy birthday to you all, my darlings. Ashley Russell's there. Good morning to you, Ashley. I had a lovely holiday. Thank you very much for asking. Wayne is off now. You're going. Bye-bye, Wayne. Have a nice day, sir. I'm going as well. As I say, I seem to have a lot of new people watching the show this morning, so I do hope you enjoy our little chats. It's just a friendly chat. Sometimes we do news stories. We haven't got around to any of the news stories today, except I keep seeing stories about that Thomas Markle. Thomas Markle, the latest one, which is in the Mirror this morning. Mexico-based Thomas Markle. Now, you may know the name Markle. He's Harry's wife's father. And he's one of the most ugly people you've ever seen in your life. He really isn't blessed with good looks, is he? And he keeps popping up in the paper. What the latest thing is now is stepped up efforts to heal their rift since learning his daughter, Harry's wife, is pregnant, Prince Harry's wife, and is desperate to reconcile. Just go away, dear. Just go away. We're not interested in your sad, lonely, pathetic life. Just go away, because we don't want to know your sad stories or what you've been getting up to. Just let the happy couple be and let them get on with their life. And will the papers please stop printing stories about Thomas Markle? We are not interested. Thank you. Jean Evans joins us very late today. Jean, you're too late. I'm going, darling. I'm going. Thanks ever so much for watching the show today, boys and girls. I hopefully will be back with you tomorrow morning, around about 9:30. We will be doing the usual karaoke streams, okay? Either on Facebook, but you're better off to watch them on YouTube. My YouTube address is youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. That's it for the show today. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll see some of you at the Karaoke Central Station Bar, Wharfdale Road, from 8:30 tonight. See you soon. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.